You're welcome back. Just gone by, we had a conversation on cervical cancer, and even my producer and director are saying God is in control, but this one is not a God is in control thing. Yeah, I have snitched on you, pal. But we're still staying with health. We're talking to Mr. William Hansen. I think it was yesterday, Jude, that someone was asking whether Mr. Hansen was coming on the show today. So we have him here for you. We're discussing diabetes, inflammation, of course, and you know, as a naturopathic practitioner, he's going to teach us or talk to us about how we can use natural ways to cure that. Mr. Hansen, thank you so much for joining us. How are you doing?
Thank you very much. How are you?
I'm very well, thank you. But if you have any questions, any concerns, don't forget to send it to the WhatsApp number 0204 447 033. 0204 447 033, and we will do well to ask Mr. Hansen. Don't wait till the last minute, and then when we don't ask, then you'll be fighting us. Mr. Hansen, we're talking about diabetes, inflammation. I think we've spoken about diabetes, but the inflammation attached, does it do something extra to the diabetes? What is diabetes inflammation?
Inflammation is a process the body uses. It's supposed to be good in the short term, but when it's prolonged, it tends to be a problem. All right, we have physical, there's one that you can see. If you get hit by something, that area gets inflamed.
Yeah.
So the blood cells come in there, sequester there, and try to bring the inflammation down. That you can see, but the processes that go in the body do generate inflammation that you call low-grade inflammation. You don't see that. And sugar, the bad oils. If you take a vegetable, how much oil are you going to get from the vegetable? But you have so many gallons of vegetable oils being sold.
Yeah.
If you take corn, how much oil can you get from corn? So they go through about 8 processes, and they generate inflammation in the body, or what they call reactive oxygen species. And your body has to try and quench this thing. It's like your body goes on fire. You don't see it, but slowly but surely, it goes on for long, it will start damaging organs in the body. Then they will say you have this disease, you have that disease, you have this, that, you have this and that. You try and treat it, but we don't think what is causing it, what is bringing this thing up. So you treat and treat and treat, and if you are lucky, it will get better. Sometimes, most of the time, it doesn't get better, and it's going to kill you. It's a very sorry state of affair that goes on, that we don't know what we are eating. We don't understand what we are eating. There's a book here that I brought for you to see.
How sugar is killing us.
Pure, White, and Deadly. And everything this man said, he was attacked left and right. John Yotkin. But in the long run, everything he said is exactly what was going on. No, there's no truth coming from the food industry to us. They just want to sell and make money. And if you addict the food with anything that is sweet, people will go for it. But the body doesn't really take in that much sugar as we see in our products. Different names. I took one on my phone. I went to the mall and I bought something, and I got a can of, a bottle of something sweet. All right?
Yeah.
And at the beginning, it tells you sugar. When you go down the list, it says maltodextrin. That is sugar again. So why don't you just put the sugar there that you see what is going on?
Yeah.
They've given it so many different names and we don't understand it. But it tastes sweet. And sometimes you see they'll put at the bottom. There's one that I had that had proper sugar. But when you read the label at the bottom, it says phenylketonurics. That is an artificial sweetener. So here's the case, they are combining an artificial sugar
With actual sugar.
with actual sugar.
Ooh, that's deadly.
Yeah, it's on my phone. The lady got it, I gave it to her.
I know, Mr. Hansen, I can imagine you at like, you know, a party, a children's party where this cotton candy thing is being done. You know, I'm sure you'll be shaking in your bones, you know.
No, not really.
Not really.
Not really.
Rather,
Not really, because it's for a short time.
yeah, but you know,
If the kid is going to party week
Running
after week,
around.
week after week,
then that's a problem.
then that's a problem. That's why you see obese children
Yeah.
these days always on their distance.
I was telling you about how my mom went to one of these schools to do some work, and she was complaining about how all the kids there
How obese.
are obese.
Yeah.
You know, and you know, I've heard people say that when it happens like that in a school, you could trace it to the diet they serve in the school.
Yeah.
You agree, same?
That's exactly the truth. It's coming from the diet. We think the diet is so good, that is why they give it to us. But if you really look at the physiological causes and effects it has in the body, you question why these things are out.
You know, not to even cut you, but you know, back to my cotton candy thing. I use that as an illustration because
Okay,
you know, it is literally raw sugar.
it is.
You know, if you see the make of it, it's just sugar they pour into the thing.
Turn.
And when it melts, it is literally pure sugar. So it's like you're consuming,
Yeah.
you know, and I've always wondered why it's a thing, you know. But if I get you correctly, once a while it's fine.
Once in a while, you'll be okay. Even your body can handle sugar a little better than fructose.
Okay.
Fructose is worse.
Wow. And what food contains what?
All the fruits have fructose. It's in all the fruits that we eat. Fructose. So you have to calculate. You can go on fruits 100%.
Okay.
If you do that, it's for a short time because it's only your liver that is going to work on the fructose. But with glucose, every single cell in your body will use glucose. So if you overload on the fructose, in the long run, it will turn to uric acid, which will give you gout.
Yeah.
Most of the fructose, if you go into excess, will turn into uric acid. They will say, oh, gout is from purines. You know, don't eat sardines, don't eat those organ meats, like liver and those things. But that is not the only thing. Fructose especially. Sugar will cause it, but slowly. But fructose will cause it faster.
Wow.
Right. Mr. Hansen, so are diabetics susceptible to inflammation because of the sugars that they're eating?
It will lead to inflammation. There's no other way.
Right.
Because when sugar in the body, it breaks down in different ways. It stimulates different machinery in the body. And then we say, oh, this person has cholesterol, this person is growing fat, and stuff like that. But your body itself has a mechanism to produce fat. You don't really have to take in the fat that much, but you have the carbohydrate, sugar fat, which they call triglyceride. If you get your blood work, look at it, triglyceride, that is fat coming from the sugar you are eating. And we look at other items and we leave that alone. We don't bother much about that, but you have a mechanism, what you call de novo lipogenesis, that is formation of fat from scratch, from the body. And you have 3 enzymes that, when they are stimulated, will convert your sugar to fat. ATP citrate linase, acetyl-CoA, carboxylate, and fatty acid synthase. These are the bad boys who convert your sugar to fat. And then you have VLDL. They always talk about LDL, bad cholesterol, bad cholesterol. I don't know if there's anything like bad cholesterol.
Because if there's bad
Cholesterol
cholesterol,
essentially is
then
bad.
there should be good cholesterol, right? And I don't think there's anything like that either.
Your body produces cholesterol. Cholesterol is so critical. Without it, we'll be dead. All the cells in our body have layers made of cholesterol, but you need a good one. If you are not taking enough antioxidants, then the cholesterol starts to oxidize. That is rust. That is when it turns into bad cholesterol. But in the beginning, it wasn't bad. Your body uses the cholesterol as what you call autocoids, so I mean messengers. But they have to come back to the liver to be cleaned. If it's not able to come to the liver to be cleaned, then it stays out there. That is when it starts oxidizing and turns into bad one. But originally, it wasn't a bad guy. We need it to survive. Without it, we'll be dead.
Wow.
Our brain is cholesterol. All the nerves that run in our body, the insulation, like you have a wire with insulation, the insulation of all our nerves is cholesterol.
So, Mr. Hanson, what diet then should I be looking at to prevent this diabetes inflammation from happening?
Plant-based diet will help you. They talk of the keto diet, but that is mostly meat and stuff. I wouldn't say it's bad, but it's not going to raise insulin that much in the body. Insulin is a master gland. I mean, it controls practically everything. Every cell has an insulin receptor, so they communicate. And insulin tells the body to store something or to make it grow.
Right.
I mean, let's just take just the two. It has more functions, but the two basic things it's going to do is store this or grow. So if somebody is suffering from a disease and they are eating things that will bring about more insulin, then whatever they have, if it's growing, will grow. We talked about cancer. That's one of the problems. We talk about fibroids. If you go to the base of it, excess insulin in the body or excess insulin around, because you are eating something continuously that is triggering the insulin, and that is the sugar. We talk about sugar a lot. People get their blood work and they will tell them about their sugar. So many people, or millions of people, but they don't talk about what insulin is to the sugar. It's like, how would I put it? A mother and a baby. When you see the baby, you see the mother. You don't separate them. But we are always talking about sugar, the baby, but we don't talk about a mother who can control so many things and make so many things happen. So when we overload the body with sugar, insulin comes in. Anytime you eat sugar, insulin comes in. If you don't eat sugar, the body will convert some of the protein and the fat you eat to sugar, because the brain needs sugar. But at the same time, the brain can also use ketones. If you don't have sugar in the body, the body breaks down the fat and you get ketones from it for the brains to use. And the brain loves the ketones, it will use it. That is why you can fast and you don't die. That's why that goes on. You eat something processed carbohydrate in the morning, let's say about 9 o'clock. And then about 1 o'clock, you go and eat something with processed carbohydrate again. The body has not finished processing and then you go and add to it. And then around 6, 7 o'clock, another dose. That's the third dose.
Right.
And if you watch our food, it's carb, 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 carb. So glucose, 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 meaning insulin, insulin, insulin. Then hyperinsulinemia, and then so many problems follow hyperinsulinemia. But we don't talk about insulin. When you hear about insulin, you are being given insulin injections. But the body produces insulin. When diabetes shows up, the body is just giving you a warning. I have too much sugar in me. Slow down. So if the body is telling you that, respect the body. Don't tell the body, I'm going to give you insulin so that you can take more sugar. Because too much insulin has bad effects. Bad effects. So we have to control the amount of sugar, especially the white one. That is, it has nothing good for us. Nothing good.
You mentioned a plant-based diet. What should we be eating? Just the salads, the contumely?
Yeah.
Okay. Salad, contumely. But then again, isn't too much of that also bad? Or you can't go wrong with?
It won't kill you. It won't kill you. Look at a tree standing there. Green.
Yeah.
Stands there for how many years? 10, 20, 30, 40 years. The green is always good. Because you get practically all your, maybe the problem there with vegetarians would be the B vitamins that they will not get from the plants. So you can take in a little, some eggs, some fish, and you get those things there, some nuts.
The oil that we pour on top, the red oil that we pour on top of our contumely or our...
The palm oil?
Yes, the palm oil.
Palm oil is cool. Palm oil is cool. Inside palm oil, you have tocopherols and tocotrienols.
Okay.
Which are very good for the eyes. Normally you see they have vitamins and they give you only one. It will say something tocopherol in there, but it's a group. It's like a soccer team. You don't go in with just the number 5. You take the whole thing, you take the palm oil, you get everything there.
There's a question here for you from Mafia from Kwesimintim. Can slim people get diabetes too? We often say we do not really even gain weight by eating.
Slim people do get and have diabetes. There's something they call TOFI, T-O-F-I. Thin on the outside, but fat on the inside. You can be slim, but what is important is where is the fat deposited. You will be slim on the outside, but if you take a scan, sometimes you see that most of the fat is deposited in the liver. So that person is thin on the outside, but inside the liver, most of the fat is there. That person can easily get diabetes. Yeah. So thin it's a deception that thin people don't know, they do.
Mr. Hansen, someone wants to know if diabetic sugars for diabetic patients are actually healthy.
Diabetic sugars?
Yes.
What are those diabetic
Sometimes
sugars?
they give them some packets that they should rather drink that, or it's like little cubes, and they'll tell, like a Tic Tac, that they say they can put that, use that instead of normal regular sugar. Is it actually healthy?
I wouldn't say temporarily, yeah.
Okay.
But in the long run, no. You are diabetic and somebody's giving you something, and 2, 3, 4 years later, you are still diabetic. So where's the progress?
Right. So
short term, okay, but you have to make an effort to understand. All right. They tell you sometimes they prick the finger to check their blood and check their sugar content. So you eat something and your sugar goes so high. Next time, don't eat that.
Wow. You know, I like the way you bring in the natural remedies to solve the issues we talk about. My question to you is, if somebody gets to a stage where they are very diabetic, right? What would you advise should be the best way in terms of, you know, getting the necessary help? Fast.
Do a fast. Do a water fast.
For how many days?
It depends on your situation.
Not to go to the hospital first.
I mean, that is where you were diagnosed in the first place.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
You were diagnosed in the hospital that you have diabetes. And then they give you some drugs and things like that to control your sugar. So, why are you still putting sugar and overloading the body with sugar? People are under the wrong impression that, oh, I'm diabetic, I can take the tablet and I can eat the carbo still. You are mixing hot and cold water. You are not going anywhere. And if you are not lucky, it's going to get worse. Because you can call it a disease, but it's something that is causing it. It's actually a symptom of your sugar mechanism gone wrong. So why are you still loading sugar? You can stay without sugar, you won't die. Sugar is not essential.
So your cereals and all of those things you eat in the morning as breakfast, you can do it without sugar.
You can do without cereals and all those things.
So it's not even the sugar. Do away without the meal itself. So like I don't mention brands, right? But like you know, the flakes, cassava flakes, is that what they call it? The oats, all of those things can be without, you know, assuming you still have to like get something inside. Rice water, for example. Are you advising that we eat all of those things without white sugar?
The rice water will turn into sugar at a cellular level. It will turn into glucose.
Mr. Hansen, there's no sugar in rice water. It's not rice water.
So why do you want to eat rice water? There is a problem now.
But the point is that you can't eat spinach and contomere and all of those.
You can have a boiled egg. You can have some boiled eggs.
Yeah, but boiled egg with rice water, right?
No. No.
Just the boiled egg for breakfast, especially if you're diabetic.
You do fine. The proteins will not raise your sugar, even if it's going to raise just a tiny little bit.
But Mr. Hansen, I get your point, right? And I get that it's from a naturopathic point of view. But does it fit the Ghanaian context, the Ghanaian reality?
It doesn't fit the African reality.
Exactly. So then that construction worker or that laborer or that on-site, you know, hands-on person can't eat a bowl of egg to say that he's trying to be mindful of his health. So you have to resort to something, right? More than just that. So
you have to eat something, but sometimes you don't have to eat something.
I get your point.
You will not die.
But your ideal recommendation is that a bowl of egg to start your morning is fine.
Boiled egg.
Yeah, boiled eggs is okay. About 2 boiled eggs, you put some pepper in it. If you can have it just like that. You can have some salads
On the side.
on the side. Yeah, you can do it, or you can just have straight salad. Even you can have some cooked beans, some beans stew. Don't add. If you're going to add gari, just tiny a little bit. If there's something called continuous glucose monitor. I don't know if it's being used here that much, but it gives you anything you eat.
Yeah, I've seen it.
All right.
It's like some sticker on the
Exactly.
arms
So
and everything.
you can track. But the trouble is how many people have the money to buy that.
Right.
So let's go the way that we know. I have a sugar problem. Let me stay away from sugar, number one. The starches will all turn into sugar, glucose at a cellular level. So reduce, just go low and try to replace it with fat and other proteins. Bring more in there and it will help you. But you see, the problem with the glucose is that it triggers dopamine production.
Okay.
All right, and it works on the reward part of your brain. So it's like, come for more, come for more. Because ordinary carbo can addict you even more than cocaine. Yeah. Why can't you do away with it? Because you're addicted. You don't see it. It's on a kind of fine level. But I gotta have my carbohydrate. I gotta have my carbohydrate. No, you don't need it.
Charlie, so the people are eating banku and Charlie pepper and things early morning. That's problematic. Sometimes as early as 6 a.m.
Yeah. If you eat that way, have the sense that. But let's say somebody is poor.
Yeah.
And you have to eat banku, you have to eat kenke, and then you go and eat some banku again or rice again. You don't have to eat 3 times a day. So you can help yourself. You can eat twice a day. And that will be 1 meal out. And you can drink other coconut water, regular water, other things through the day. And then you can have a heavy meal. That is, if you can master your body. If you fast, so many things happen in the body. One of these days we'll talk about fasting and what happens when you fast, the mechanisms.
Not from a spiritual emphasis point of view.
No.
From
This
a naturopathy.
purely physiological processes that take place when you fast. Fasting is not like 100% spiritual. No.
People believe that the spiritual, or if you study psychology of religion, they feel like they lean on the physiological aspect of fasting to, help people with their spiritual needs, right? Maybe I'm not framing it well, but the point essentially they make is that there are physiological benefits of fasting, like you say, right? And when you do it and you're in your mind doing it for spiritual reasons, you are just getting the benefits of the physiological reasons, right? And there's a whole school of thought.
You're getting both.
You are getting both
at the same time.
But naturopathic practitioners don't believe in the spiritual.
No, we are all human. Some of
Okay.
us are strong Christians. But we have to be able to differentiate.
Draw the lines. One of the
line,
biggest criticisms against naturopathy is that sort of anti-medicine stance. Do you think it's a fair criticism?
Well, some people go to the extreme.
So like in every field, there are extremes, right?
They're extremists, all right? But medicine is necessary. A car hits you. You get in a car accident. You're not going to call it naturopathy. You won't.
No,
You call it first aid help work.
Exactly.
Wow.
So you can't go to the extremes.
Mr. Hansen, there are many questions here. This one says, I'll take a couple of them, then you try, because some of them are quite similar. This one says, good morning, Mr. Hansen. Mr. Hansen is back again. Could you please project his number on the screen? It will be appreciated. You mentioned it before the show ends, don't worry.
Okay.
Hi, good morning. I want to ask Mr. Hansen if diabetic sugars for diabetic patients are actually healthy.
He's already answered that.
He's mentioned that
The
already.
sugars, yeah.
This one says that, Mr. Hansen, please, how can we do away with fatty liver situations?
Okay.
And also here, please, based on World Health recommendation of diet intake, you are supposed to get 70% of your diet from carbohydrates and 30% from protein. I don't know if you want to respond to that.
I
And
will.
maybe just finally here, it says, please, I'd like to know whether too much of sugar or less taking of sugar, and that causes high production of insulin. I don't really get a message, but you can speak to key points in it.
Fatty liver is not a result of the fat you are eating. It's the liver processes everything, and the liver stores the sugar as glycogen. The liver is storing, but it has a storage capacity. The liver has a storage capacity. So if you are eating all those things, especially the processed foods, the processed and refined carbohydrates, meaning that the body will be, you are not burning that much energy that fast. So the body is going to start converting it to glycogen for storage, but you are bringing more. Then the body will start putting it into fat, into your muscles first. And then you see fatty liver, the body has too much of fat, the glycogen in the liver. Because it's the liver that is doing the conversion and the processing. And the factory is not empty, and then you are bringing more. So now the liver slows down. And there's a simple but complicated processes that if you don't get the sugar out quickly, the processing slows down, and then you get oil driplets in your muscle and then in your liver, and then it starts accumulating. So fatty liver, stay away from carbs. Do your best, lower it. Give yourself 6 to 7 months. It's a slow process, but you can do it. There's no drug to reverse it. In the long run, they will say you need liver replacement, which is very expensive. You can't afford it. Very few people can afford it.
That's true.
So what is causing the fatty liver is the processed carbohydrates mostly. Over 80-90% is coming from there. So stay away from it. And it will backtrack. You loaded something, stop loading it, and then the body will start using it slowly but surely. Give yourself time. A lot of times we want quick results, and that is where we run into trouble. We want quick results, but the body is not stupid. You started young. The liver was working, everything was working. So if the problems are coming, what are the causes? A lot of times we don't deal with the causes. We want the cure. We want the cure. We want the treatment. But there is a cause. The smoke is there. The body is showing symptoms. A lot of times we chase the symptoms. We go and buy something to make us sleep. We go and do this. But something is causing the symptoms that you are seeing.
Well, any more questions? I have a couple more from our viewers here. This one says, the person didn't send the name. It says, hello, Mr. Hansen. I want to find out from you the confusion around brown, white, and cubed sugar. We're told the other time that brown sugar is relatively okay for even diabetic patients. How true is that, and what can you tell us about it?
Brown sugar cannot be. It can be. You taking it in the body, it will get broken down. What is the end result? Like I said the other time, sometimes you can have good sugars, unrefined, unheated. Next time I'll bring you one for you to see. But everybody is in that industry for profits.
Wow.
You know?
Yeah.
They will take white sugar and dye it.
Whoa.
With molasses. And it will come brown, and you would not know. You wouldn't know.
And that's probably even more dangerous.
It is.
Because then
sometimes the molasses, you get some minerals out of the molasses. But the end product is that
it's still
the
sugar.
white sugar is there.
Wow. And just based on this, talk to us about some of the fizzy drinks you see on the market. They come with all sorts of fanciful labeling. Some of them say zero sugar, no diet, with bold inscriptions on it, right?
Zero sugar, no, but the thing is sweet. So what did they put? Salt?
Sometimes even more sweeter than the one that has the sugar inside.
Yeah.
So what's happening?
I will not mention the name, but some of those artificial sweetness are 200 times sweeter than sugar, actual sugar.
Yeah.
They're synthetic and concentrated.
Wow.
It will fool your body that, I'm taking in a different sugar. But what will be the results in the long run? We have so many of them. I mentioned one, but they use them as artificial sweetness. But it will help you in the short run, but try and get away from overloading.
Mr. Hansen, someone's asking, you mentioned gout, and that is it only diabetes that could lead to gout, and how do you cure gout with, natural food?
Okay. Most of what they tell us is gout is stay away from purines. Stop eating meat, sardines. Those are like concentrated. You can do that, but sugar, especially fructose, if it's not broken down well, sugar will turn into ADP, and then to INP, and then to uric acid. If depending on how the body is breaking it down.
Right.
So that uric acid will cause two things: blood pressure and gout.
Okay.
We are dealing with gout. So if I'm telling you that the problem is not only coming from heavy meats and things like that, but some of the problem is coming from sugar, then just go low on those things.
Okay.
All right? Clean the body. Chlorophyll from plants is close to human blood. Load the body up with chlorophyll, and it will start cleaning your blood for you. Do some fasting. Then your liver and the other detoxifying organs will get some time to do their work. Right. You have to exercise and sweat too, because your largest detoxifying organ is your skin. You have to sweat. You have to do some exercise. So gout, the uric acid is not only coming from purines, a lot of it is coming from sugar. You have to get that understanding. They'll try and treat it, but you don't understand what is going on. So a lot of times you'll still be doing the very things that are causing the gout. Okay, they say stay away from meat and all those things, but I can guarantee you that 99.9% of the time, they will not tell you that sugar also causes gout.
Right. Mr. Hansen, thank you so much. I have learned a lot. Jude?
Yeah, for me, I like the fact that we always get to learn something new and also learn healthier alternatives to how we've been doing things over the years. This week, I'll be trying my breakfast with 2 eggs, and I'll see how I'll go for the whole week. If it doesn't keep me active, Mr. Hansen, we'll have issues.
No, you'll be okay.
Yeah, sure.
But you have to condition yourself too.
Okay.
Because you're taking yourself off what you are used to, right? So it's going to be tough.
And like I said, carbohydrates, it's going to be tough. Carbohydrates are addictive. If you see all the pastries, they are all carbs.
Right.
Absolutely.
And
so
if you see, I wouldn't say it, but if you watch the people who are walking on the street and eating chips, watch their body size.
Absolutely. Thank you so much for your time, Mr. Hansen. Always a pleasure. Just before you go, people want your number, so if you could just, mention it out again.
Oh, okay. The US number that they can get on WhatsApp is 973-393-4765.
You want to take the number again?
973-393-4765.
And that's
the US number. The Ghana number is 053-618-5159.
Maybe one last time.
053-618-5159. Yeah.
And the US number, people are asking.
973-393-4765.
Thank you so much, Mr. Hansen.
So tell them we'll form a WhatsApp group that 24 hours they can ask questions.
Absolutely.
And I'm always willing to answer them.
Absolutely. Thank you so much.
All right.
You just heard there Mr. William Hansen taking us through a conversation on diabetes, inflammation, what you could do in terms of natural remedies, and also trying to bring healing, right? And that's been the conversation for today on Sunday Breakfast. We'll take a quick break. We'll be back. We have sports. Don't go away.